Hello, everybody. My name is 𝗣cie Cooney. I am the owner and founder of London Consulting and Insurance Firm. And today I am going to answer a question that I received today. And it said, is my business eligible for business insurance? And I want to talk a little bit about that. But before I get into that, I do want to share just a little testimony. I feel that I should because, God has blessed me abundantly here recently. And I need people to know that it did not happen overnight. I think people think that maybe I make this look too easy. Like I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs and waiting for the phone to ring. And that's not the case. I, as well as my team, we are always out here. We're in the community. I sponsor events. I aim to educate the community, especially my seniors with the Medicare. A lot of them just don't understand it. And I'll be honest with you, it's written in a way that even, some of us licensed agents aren't always able to understand. So my contribution is to explain it to them so that they don't have to wait until they have a major procedure to realize this isn't covered, or I need to pay this amount, or my copay, my deductible. So that's something what I do in the community. Also with my property and casualty clients as well, my small business owners, my contractors. They're always needing to be educated on something, because if you are stuck in your craft and that's what you do, that's what you're good at, most people would rather watch paint dry than read an insurance policy. So that's why it's important to have an agent such as myself that's willing to take the time out and answer all of those specific questions that you don't know. So my quick testimony is this, that I've been doing a lot lately, and I've been sharing it. I've been sharing a lot more now than I used to, but I need people to know that this didn't happen overnight. I'm not an overnight success. I started this business in 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia, and I lost a lot. I sacrificed a lot. So I am truly following and living in my passion. This is what I like to do. This is all that I know how to do. Honestly, I've been doing it for 20 plus years. So it didn't happen overnight. I started this business in Atlanta and I lost a lot. I lost a whole house. And I'll be honest with you, I'm 𝗣cie Cooney. I don't make no mistake about where I am, where I come from. I'm from Southwest Detroit. I'm from the number street. So I'll be honest with you, the house that I purchased in Atlanta, it was it was one of the best houses that I lived in. It was new. It was built the same year that my daughter was born. So needless to say, I was depressed. And I was questioning, should I even be, an entrepreneur? I tried to get out. I tried to even sell my business and nobody wanted it. But then a year later, I bought somebody else's business. So the plans that God has for me superseded what I could have ever imagined. But I lost that house in Atlanta because I didn't want to go and work for somebody. I believed in my dream. I believed that it could happen. So I packed the business up, brought it here to Detroit, and I lived with my cousin for 18 months on the couch, because if anybody is going to be sleeping in the bed, it's going to be my daughter, right? Not me. She has to be comfortable. So those are the sacrifices. There were many, but those are just a few. I won't even bore you to death with all the sacrificing. But the point of the story is when you believe in yourself and God planted a seed in you and a dream, don't let nobody take that from you, because there were people who were looking at me, when I was losing all these things and saying, why don't you just go get a job? Even the person that I was dating at the time was like, I can get you in where I work. It's like, what? I turned down a nice paying job with AAA because I couldn't, it was a conflict of interest for me to promote the London consulting firm and sell their products. So the sacrifice was I believed in myself and I really truly came out the mud. I promise you, it's not easy. It was not easy. I just make it look easy. And I serve a God who does not allow me to look like what I have been through. But I've been through some things, trust me. So that's my little testimony, and I hopefully I motivated somebody and encouraged somebody real quick to stay on your path and don't listen to people. And if you fall off, that's when you really find out who your friends were, because the friends that I was balling out with when I had a job, when you get to asking, hey, can I hold, $200-300 or something until these commission checks come in or whatever, and the same people that you would spend $200 or $300 popping bottles with or vacationing with, no, they don't know you, they don't have it, they want to tell you about your priorities and whatever. So that's my tip. But let me get to this question. So the question that I received today was, is my business eligible for insurance? Yes, depending on what type of business it is, you shouldn't be operating without general liability insurance. And let me tell you why. I'm going to use an example. Last night, some friends of mine, they opened a new bar. And so my girlfriend and I, we went to check it out. And on the way there, we went past the mobile bowling truck, and that was a business that has started. I loved it from the first time I heard about it. That it started like during the pandemic. People were looking for something to do. We walking around wearing masks, can't go nowhere, we're scared. And so that idea was brought up by that entrepreneur. And so we and going to the bar to support another business, um my girlfriend and I, we rolled past it, literally few hours after we just, rolled past and was talking about the business. Somebody hit that truck. Yeah, and they said that it was like 6 people who were injured and had to be taken to the hospital. Need I say any more? These are the reasons why you have to have general liability insurance. Now, it's not a law that says you have to have it, but anything is possible. I'm sure when he set up for that event yesterday, there's no way of knowing what the person driving, first of all, to hit this big old truck with the bowling alley in it. Like, what were you driving and how fast were you going to injure 6 people? I don't know how severe their injuries are, but it was 6 people taken to the hospital who were participating in the event. This is why it is important. I'm not going to say that you got to have it, because it's not a rule saying you got to have it unless, you're working on a contract or a specific entity or situation that is requiring that. But it is very good to have that liability because the driver, it was a hit and run. We don't know who hit those people. So who's going to be responsible for that? I'm going to tell you who's going to be responsible for that. The owner of the business. It happened on his premises. So, um, I could pretty much write anything. I wrote another business, another client of mine, and this client is in Atlanta actually, and it is a rage room where you just go and you throw plates and you let out your frustration, your anxiety, your whatever it is, your excitement, um, just throwing plates. I was able to ensure that. Okay. Because what if somebody is there and they're throwing plates and they get hit by somebody else who's throwing a plate? Who do you think is going to be responsible for that? Or just, I could go through several scenarios of, what could happen. They may not want to sue you. They just want you to take care of their medical expenses. If they got hurt participating in an event in some way, you were liable for their injury. So I am able to write a lot of different insurance policies. I have another client I'm working on as we speak. I'm waiting on them to give me a call back um, for import business from Africa. They're selling commodities from Africa. And is it hard to get that type of business insured? You bet. Is it going to cost more? You bet. But look at the risk that's being involved. We don't know what is going into that product between the shipment from Africa to Detroit. And somebody consumes something and say, oh my God, I'm in the hospital, or, worse, that's why it's important to have the general liability insurance. I could sit here and throw out scenarios all day. Something as small as, let's say, a restaurant owner. And, in Michigan, it snows, but that don't stop us. We still go out and eat and we party. We do just slide right on into where we want to go. And let's say that somebody forgot to shovel the snow and put the salt down, and they slip and fall coming into your establishment. Before you up and running, wow, you got a claim. They call him Sam Bernstein or Jeffrey Feiger or somebody like that. And who's responsible? Who's liable? Maybe not you directly as the owner, right? Say you didn't even, you have your staff taking care of things, and the staff forgot to go out there. They're not gonna sue the staff person. They're not gonna sue the janitor. They're gonna sue you, the owner, because you should have had practices and procedures in place to make sure that that there was not a hazard for your patrons that are coming in to your business. So who is eligible for business insurance? Anybody that's up and running a business where you're interacting with people and you are exposed to any type of liability situation. Business insurance, a business owner's policy. Typically, business owner's policy, it covers the liability, and it also will cover your personal property. So for my contractors who own large expensive pieces of equipment, right? They definitely want to be covered in case they do something. Let's say that they're putting up a roof. I'm just making up a scenario top of my head. They putting up a roof and they accidentally drop something from the top of the roof down into somebody's living room, a freak accident. They want to make sure they're covered for that, but they also want to make sure that while they're on a job site, their expensive equipment is covered in case they go to take a quick lunch, they run over to McDonald's and grab a number two, and they come back and the equipment is gone. Now what? You want to cover that too. You want to cover situations that you're going to be liable for or could possibly be liable for, but you also want to cover yourself too. If you out here and you're struggling, it took you to do whatever to come up with the materials that you need to go out here and do your craft and do what you're great at, you want to make sure that that's covered. Workers' comp, you want to make sure your workers covered. You know, if they're on the ladder and they fall down, and a lot of times as contractors, when you get these contracts, they require, in order for you to get the job, that you have workers' comp and general liability for these very reasons. They know that you're probably using subcontractors. They're probably not, the people that work for you are probably not W-2 payroll employees. They're probably people that, they're 1099. However you do it, you writing them, a check, or you paying them under the table, whatever the case may be. But they want to know that while you're on their property and you have these people working with you, that if something happens to them, if they fall off the ladder while they're in their building painting, doing their job, they don't want to be covered for it. Okay. They want that subrogation waiver. They want to make sure that, hey, you and your team are covered. And I'm just simply paying you to do the job for my building or my, whatever the situation is. So who's eligible for business insurance? Anybody who is out here and their business is exposed to being, liable for something or sued for something. You want to make sure that you are covered. And I'm happy to go into more detail with you. You can always contact me at 1-800-651-9142. And you can always feel free to visit my website, which is www.londonconsultingfirm.com. We'd love to hear from you. No question is a dumb question. I love to see new entrepreneurs soar. It gives me energy, and I love hearing your stories, how you got started, what motivated you, what did you do prior to working for yourself. And I love sharing my stories as well. It's just something different when you have the spirit of an entrepreneur. It's definitely not for the weak, and it's definitely a different game. It's a game changer. So I love working with even the seasoned entrepreneurs. I love being in my community. I love sponsoring events, and I believe in what I stand for, and I stand for what I believe. So again, if you want to contact me or my staff, feel free. You can reach us at 1-800-651-9142. We have a local number as well, 313-895-7070. And we're located in Southwest Detroit on the southwest corner of Michigan and Illinois. London Consulting and Insurance Firm. We'd be happy to hear from you. We love to address your concerns, and feel free to drop us a line. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. And this was just my first episode, but I am going to be more intentional and consistent with bringing you news as it is important and as it relates to insurance and entrepreneurship. That's all I know. Thank you. I'm Stephanie Coney. Have a good day.